I'm Greg Johnson, pilot of STS-134. You're watching NASA TV.
Good morning to you today, Mark.
Good morning, Houston, and good morning, Tucson, Arizona as well. That song's from a band named Calexico from my wife Gabby's hometown. They're from Tucson, Arizona as well. And it's about two people on a trip reaching across the distance, and it references places like Signal Hill and Gate Pass in Tucson. And I know she really, really wants to get back there and is really looking forward to that. So it's an appropriate song because that's coming soon. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Mark. We appreciate that.
Endeavour, we are on board with you on the flight deck.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. And if you'd like the maneuver, we can kick it off right now, or we can wait until about 13:52, it looks like.
I'm checking.
This is aboard the flight deck of Endeavour as the crew members get ready for all of the undock, fly around, and re-rendezvous activities. Commander Mark Kelly in the forward right in this view in his commander's seat on the flight deck. Pilot Greg Johnson to the left. And behind them, Greg Chamitoff, you see polishing the windows for good camera views out the overhead windows. You're looking at the aft flight deck of Endeavour. The two windows looking aft are the two windows that look out into the payload bay of the shuttle. Roberto Vittori, Mission Specialist number 2, who also serves as the flight engineer for launch and landing. He, for those events, he is actually seated in a chair, a seat right between and just behind the commander and pilot. The mission specialist seats on the flight deck and on the mid-deck are removed and stowed away during on-orbit operations. For landing, launch and landing activities, they're bolted to the floor of the flight deck and the mid-deck.
Endeavour, Houston, on the big loop, you are go for undocking.
Copy, we are go for undocking.
Station is ready for undocking.
Houston and station, we have physical separation.
Houston copies.
Station, copy.
Endeavour undocking from the International Space Station, right on schedule at 10:55 p.m. Central, 11:55 Eastern, as the two spacecraft fly 215 miles above Bolivia, tracking northeasterly. Endeavour setting her sails one last time, departing the International Space Station after 12 missions to the orbiting complex.
Endeavour departing. Fair winds and fallen seas, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Appreciate all the help.
It's a pleasure serving with you boys.
Go Navy. Yeah, as we come up on about our 200th sunrise of the mission, we can clearly see AMS now on station and ELC-3. Just want to congratulate the whole team on the ground and the Expedition 27 and 28 crews for all the hard work that you guys have put into this. We're the ones that get to see this incredible view, but you know, you're all with us in spirit, and this is really a new day for science aboard the space station. So thanks to all of you.
Endeavour, thanks very much for the kind words. We'll pass the message, and it's a pleasure for us to be part of the team.
You are welcome.
All right, I think it's about time. All right, Spanky, you ready?
I'm ready, man.
It'll just be a second while we set this thing up. All right, here we go. A auto burn. There we go. CA auto burn.
As Endeavour continues to fly around the station, the International Space Station, stretching 357 feet from tip to tip. The pressurized volume, perpendicular volume there is about 240 feet. At the bottom, the docking port from which Endeavour departed the European Columbus Science Laboratory off to the left, and the Japanese experiment module Kibo, the Japanese word for hope, off to the right. And then heading down the length of the volume, the Harmony connecting node to which those modules are attached, in turn is attached to the U.S. laboratory Destiny. Atop Destiny is the center point of that almost 360 degree or 60-foot long truss structure. And then the first U.S. element of the International Space Station launched back in December of 1998, the Unity module, is the connecting point from the U.S. segment to the Russian segment of the station. Next in line, the first ever component of the International Space Station, the Zarya control module, with its solar arrays mostly retracted in accordion style. The Zvezda module on the back end is the next module with its solar arrays deployed, served as the early living quarters and the control section of the Russian segment of the complex. And then on the back end with the scissor-shaped solar arrays is the European Space Agency automated transfer vehicle known as the Johannes Kepler. It's been a part of the space station since late February when it arrived delivering supplies to the station. It's one of several visiting vehicles that the station hosts, including the Russian Soyuz capsule, which delivers crews to and from the station, and also the Progress supply vehicles. ...640 feet from the International Space Station. Endeavour now approaching the fly around of about 180 degrees now of the 360 degree fly around. So Endeavour's now almost directly behind the station.
Houston, putting block 8 Bravo in work.
We copy 8 Bravo.
That block of activity means that the shuttle crew is now going to initiate a radar acquisition, switching the KU band antenna system from the comm mode to radar mode. Beautiful view of the Russian segment of the station with Endeavour 600 feet away.
Endeavour Houston on 2 for radar acquisition.
Go ahead.
Mark, we need you to check your config on A1 upper, please. We see a couple switches out of config.
Okay, just call them up to us, Houston.
KU power to standby.
Got it.
Okay, it looks like you're in a good config now.
All right, thank you.
.600 feet from the space station, tracking toward the northern coast of Australia. Endeavour now behind and below.
Standby, and then all the way there after going to panel, we went power to on. I think we need power back on again.
We concur. Mark, we see a good KU config now, thanks.
Copy.
Now heading across the Tasman Sea, between Australia and New Zealand. Endeavour and the space station about 9 minutes from moving into an orbital sunset as they track off the southern coast of New Zealand. Endeavour silhouetted against the cloud cover of the Earth below the.
Go ahead, Drew.
Hi, Megan. I know our messages this morning said disregard if the storm doesn't switch over to TCS source, but I'm happy to manually switch it if folks want it. It's not a big deal.
And Drew, that's not required, but thanks for the offer.
Okay, copy. Thanks.
This view at a range of 3,100 feet.
Go ahead. Yeah, we're back. All right. Did you bring more ice cream? No, you got all of that. You guys looked great out there. Houston, you like the TIG 194208?
That's a good TIG. Good burn, Endeavour.
So with that, Endeavour has performed the final separation maneuver from the International Space Station. The result of the separation burn number 3, you could see the thruster jets firing on the nose and tail of Endeavour. The result of that burn is that Endeavour will phase away from the station now at a rate of about 10.3 statute miles every orbit, or every hour and a half. Here in the shuttle flight control room, the shift change is just about to get underway, with the Orbit 1 team just about to wrap up its final shift of the mission.
1 through 7 are complete with Storm, and with that, we're closing another chapter on the flight. I'd like to say that over the past year and a half, it's been a pleasure to work with the software and hardware developers for Storm. Everybody did a great job in getting the components ready for the flight, and we look forward to continued developments of this hardware and software, and hope that it contributes to the development of future vehicles. It's been an honor and privilege from the crew of Endeavour.
Drew, we appreciate your words. We also appreciate your hard work, and we've got a room full of happy people down here. Thanks very much.
And Megan, do they think they got good data?
Yes, they got good data.
All right, thanks.